You're 4 years old, standing frozen on a theater stage in Edo, Japan, with oil lamps close enough to singe your eyelashes, when your mind goes completely blank. Your father's hands press between your shoulder blades as 300 faces stare back at you. You're supposed to speak, supposed to hit the mark you've practiced 100 times, but your throat's locked shut, and the heat's cooking the powder off your skin. You open your mouth, and nothing comes out. Welcome to your life as a Kabuki actor. You're born in 1683 in the theater district of Edo. Your family's Kawaramono, riverbed people. Your father tells you the truth while wrapping your stage sandals one morning. Samurai, farmer, artisan, merchant. Those are the four rungs of the world. Your family's not on any of them. He pulls the strap tight enough to pinch. Every time you step on stage, he says, they're watching someone who doesn't exist. Lucky you. By 3, you're watching him rehearse from the wings. There's no school for this. You learn the way a swordsmith's son learns the forge, by standing close enough to get burned. He adjusts your posture between scenes with one hand on the back of your neck and explains nothing. By 5, you're playing Deadlord's sons and beggar boys in full productions. Real audiences, real consequences if you stumble. There's a boy named Saburo. He's the same age as you. His family sold him to the theater on a 10-year indenture. He eats what the stagehands leave. He sleeps where the props go. And when the night falls, he talks about what he'll do when his contract's up. A noodle stall, a fishing boat, and a house with a door he can lock from the inside. You just listen, because you don't have that conversation. By 7, your knees are purple from kneeling on stage for hours. You learn to cry on cue by digging your nail into the soft flesh under your arm, where the audience can't see. You're 8 when you hold a wooden sword like it weighs 30 pounds, stamping your foot hard enough to rattle the back row. Your father hits you when the stomp's too soft. By 10, you're doing full sword fight choreography against grown men who don't pull their strikes for a child. You miscue a swing one night and catch a senior actor across the wrist. He grabs your hand backstage, bends 2 fingers back until they snap, and walks away without a word. Your father's standing 6 feet away. He watches the whole thing, doesn't step in, doesn't even blink. You still perform the next night with your hand wrapped in cloth. Fun job, right? You're 12 when you leave the theater district for the first time and learn what the braided hat means. Every Kabuki actor who steps outside the district has to wear one. It's government order, pulled low, hiding the face. The straw scratches your forehead and you can barely see the street through the weave. There's a woman selling radishes 3 feet away. She looks straight through you when you pass. Last week, she was in the 4th row of the Nakamuraza, clapping until her palms were raw. Now you're just another hat. You're 13 when a lord's retainer comes to the stage door offering silver for a private performance at his master's house. Your senior actor turns him away. It's illegal. You watch the silver leave. That summer, an edict you'll never see the text of caps your salary. Someone in a silk-walled room who's never stood under a stage lamp in his life decided how much you're allowed to earn. The number's less than a middling rice merchant makes. But those same samurai who pass you without a glance in the street, they're behind the reed blinds in your theater every night. Veiled faces, private boxes angled so nobody can see who's inside. You hear them through the screens, screaming your father's name during his death scenes. When a performance ends, a silk pouch lands on the stage. Enough silver to feed your family for a month. There's no name on the pouch. There never is. The night you turn 18, you hear the shouting from the stage door. By the time you reach the backstage corridor, your father's on the floor. Another actor stands over him, breathing hard, with a short blade wet to the handle. They say something about blocking, something about a missed cue. You never get the full story because nobody tells it twice. You drop next to your father, the blood soaking into the same boards where he taught you to stomp hard enough to shake a building. His mouth moves, but the sound's already gone. His hands find your wrist. Squeezes once and then let go. Nobody outside the theater district comes. Your face is on prints in every market in Edo, and the magistrate can't find the time. Funny how fast the law moves when the dead man doesn't officially exist. For 3 nights, you sleep in his dressing room because it still smells like his face paint. 5 months later, the theater master lays out his paint in front of you. Same colors, same pattern. You put on his costume and step onto the same stage. And that night, 1,000 people scream your father's name at your face like nothing changed. After the crowd clears, you'll notice a young woman still sitting in the 3rd row. Theater's empty, but she hasn't moved. She sits the way no merchant's wife sits, spine locked, chin level, hands folded in her lap, like someone who was trained to be looked at without flinching. She's watching you. You look away. Your father's paint is still under your fingernails. You can't hold anyone's gaze tonight. Saburo finds you after the performance, looks straight into your eyes, doesn't say anything. Then he just stands in a doorway with his arms folded, making sure you eat. His 10-year contract ended 3 years ago, but he stayed. Because where else would a Kawaramono go? The next 7 years turn you into something Edo's never seen. You take every role they throw at you. Warriors, lords, outlaws, ghosts. You perform through fevers, cracked ribs, winter's cold and summer's heat. Your voice drops out for 2 weeks and you act the entire run without speaking. By 22, you're headlining your own productions. By 23, a merchant recognizes your walk in the street and starts to bow before he sees the hat. He catches himself, straightens up, looks through you like he was bowing to someone behind you. By 24, the theater raises ticket prices on nights your name's on the bill. You're 25, and Edo belongs to you. Not legally, but try telling that to the merchant's wife who sent 6 bolts of silk to the stage door with your name stitched into the wrapping. Young men across the city wear their hair the way you wore yours in last month's production. A kimono pattern from one of your warrior roles gets named after your character, and by spring, half of Edo's dressed in it. Your face stares from woodblock prints in every market stall. You're the most famous man in a city of 1 million people, and on paper, you're still someone who doesn't exist. But every night, the stage makes the paper wrong. There's a moment right before the final stamp when 1,000 people hold their breath at the same time. The whole theater goes silent. You can hear the oil lamps hiss. You can feel everybody in the room leaning toward you like you're the only solid thing left in the dark. Then you stamp. The floor shakes, and the roar hits your chest like a wall of warm water. Every bruise, every cracked rib, every night you performed with broken bones shifting under cloth, for 30 seconds, the sound swallows all of it. You're not Kawaramono. You're not someone who doesn't exist. You're the most alive thing in Edo, and 1,000 people are telling you so with their whole lungs. The morning comes. You put the hat on, walk through the same streets where your face hangs from every print stall. A samurai's wife passes close enough to touch your sleeve. Last night, she was in the second row, tears running down her face during her death scene. Today, she doesn't look up. You walk the whole length of the market, your own face staring at you from both sides of the street, and not one person sees you. Same city, same man, same face. The only thing that changed is the sun came up. Saburo works the ropes now. Stage machinery, quiet hands, steady nerves. The audiences who roar your name never see the man pulling the trap door lever underneath them. He says he likes the dark. You've known him long enough to know that's not true. Then she comes back. The woman from the third row. Now she comes often enough that you stop pretending you're not watching for her. That same seat, same spine, and always alone. After a performance one spring night, a servant delivers a note to the stage door. No name, but the paper's heavier than anything a merchant's household would use. You meet her at a tea house near the Sumida. She tells you her name's Ejima. She tells you she serves the Oku, the shogun's inner harem. You understand immediately that you should never see her again. You still see her again, and again. Always the tea house, always after curtain. She comes through the same gate each time, face hidden behind a silk sleeve. And every time she sits across from you, you feel something splitting beneath you both. She's a woman who lives inside the most guarded walls in Japan. You're someone who doesn't officially exist. That's not a love story. That's a countdown. You're 31 when the countdown ends. It's a night like any other. Ejima leaves Edo Castle on a routine temple visit and walks into your theater instead. She's done this before, dozens of times. But tonight, the performance runs long. The tea house runs longer. You're sitting across from her when the evening drums sound in the distance. The castle's gate closes at the drum. Ejima's still sitting with you, pulling a loose thread from your sleeve, talking, smiling, laughing. Her tea's gone cold. Yours too. The lantern in the corners burned down to a stub, and neither of you noticed. The drums sound again, fainter now, and she tilts her head like she's hearing music from a room that has nothing to do with her. Everything outside is a noise from a world she's already left. By the time she stands, it's over. The castle's gates are shut. Someone inside has already noticed the empty room, and the machinery that's been waiting to crush you both since the first night she sat in the third row starts turning. Ejima's arrested, shipped to a feudal domain far from Edo. Her elder brother is executed. Her younger brother, exiled. Over 1,000 people connected to the affair are dragged into the punishment. Saburo's name is on the list. A Kawaramono stagehand with no family to plead for him and no lord to intervene. They take his head in a courtyard you'll never see. No trial, no ceremony. A man who spent his whole life dreaming about a noodle stall and a fishing boat. Executed on a list he didn't know he was on. And the Yamamuraza, the building where you performed, where your father bled out on the backstage floor, where Saburo pulled the trapdoor lever in the dark, is stripped of its license and torn apart plank by plank. The land's confiscated. Then, they come for you. 20 years. That's what the magistrate says. You're exiled for 20 years. You walk out of Edo in the braided hat. Same straw scratching your forehead. Same city sliding past through the weave. Except this time, you're not walking back. There's no stage left. No lamps. No crowd screaming your father's name at your face like you earned it. You walk into a room in a domain so far from Edo that nobody's heard of Kabuki. Your woodblock prints still sell in the markets back home. Your face hangs on walls you'll never see again. Some nights, it's not the stage you miss. It's the tea house. Cold tea, a lantern burning down to nothing, her head tilting at the sound of drums like they were music from a room that had nothing to do with her. They shipped her to a domain somewhere. You don't know where. You don't know if she's alive. The Ejima Ikushima scandal of 1714 in Edo, Japan resulted in the punishment of over 1,000 people, the demolition of the Yamamuraza Theater, and actor Ikushima Shingoro's exile for nearly 20 years.